What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another episode of the Fantasy Six Pack News Cycle. I'm your host, Dylan Clemens. Here with me, as always, is Michael Plant. What's up, man?
Not much. How about yourself?
Eh, late night, doing a video.
Party hard.
But like always, let's make it short and sweet for the people for this one. And let's jump right into the biggest news we got, man. And it's Javonte Williams, unfortunately, tearing his ACL, and he will be out for the season.
Sad news.
Hoping for a speedy recovery for him. And hopefully he comes back to 100% and even better than he was before. But it's our job, man, to talk about the fantasy implications from it. And I'm curious what your take is on this backfield. Melvin Gordon's obviously there. He's kind of in the doghouse a little bit. Fumbled twice on Sunday. Mike Boone actually saw more snaps than Melvin Gordon. And then a few hours ago, they just go ahead and sign Latavius Murray, who scored a touchdown for the Saints last Sunday. And they go ahead and sign him off their practice squad just to muddle the backfield even more. I'm curious to hear your thoughts, my man.
It's muddled up here, but we're going to go with the guy who, I know he's in the doghouse, but this is not something Melvin Gordon is known for. He does not fumble it this much. He's just getting in his own head right now. Russell Wilson's, even getting behind Melvin Gordon. So I do believe Melvin Gordon is going to be the, lead back, which is just going to have Latavius Murray to that, lesser Javonte Williams role where it might, he might not get the PPR value that Javonte got, but Melvin Gordon is still going to get, probably 55 to hopefully 60% of this workload.
Yeah, I'm thinking Gordon will see 15, 16, 17 carries somewhere in there, and Latavius Murray will get whatever's after that. You know what I mean?
Last year they were splitting 50-50. He didn't have this fumbling problem. So all it takes is just one game not to fumble, and he's not in the doghouse.
It's a confidence problem, Mike, at that point, I feel like. Because he's got, I want to say it's something like close to 5 fumbles on the year, because he fumbled at the goal line the first game, I know for sure. I'm not 100% positive. I just know it's been a struggle. But we've seen Melvin Gordon produce before, man. And
the thing is they trust him. Even with the the fumbles, on the year, they're still using him in third down attempts, which are high priority carries. And, he is doing well, getting 3 attempts, 9 yards, 4 targets, 3 receptions for 20 yards, which is actually better than what Javonte was doing. Now, the red zone was pretty much split right down the middle.
Mm-hmm.
But which is probably how it's going to be for Latavius Murray. But I still believe Melvin Gordon will get, the 12 to 17 touches here, and Latavius Murray will probably get maximum of 10, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Mike Boone just, sprinkled in depending on how the game script's, playing out.
Yep, exactly. And obviously those touches depend on how much they can run the ball in game script because that team hasn't been spectacular this year.
No.
But jumping into our last thing we got here, on Sunday, Mitch Trubisky was benched for the rookie Kenny Pickett, who then proceeded to throw an interception on the first pass attempt of his career. He did find the end zone twice with his legs. But did end up throwing 3 interceptions. Yeah, 2 times. Did end up throwing 3 interceptions. One was a Hail Mary at the end of the game. So it is what it is. Mike, I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are for these pass catchers, because I know George Pickens led the team in target share once Pickett took over at 30%.
30%. Yep.
Yeah. Freiermuth was second at like 22 to 24, and Deontay was like 15%, which makes sense, man, because Pickett and George Pickens have been practicing together in training camp and stuff with the backups at the start of training camp. So that makes sense that those guys would have chemistry.
Yep, it would. Now, the thing here is, snap percentage. I do like George Pickens, but he is playing the least amount out of these 3. Chase Claypool and Deontay Johnson are just about 1% difference when it comes to that snap percentage. So George Pickens is mainly the slot guy here. Or maybe not the slot guy, but
he's coming on the field once they get 3 wide receiver sets.
Exactly my point.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. So he's going to demand his targets because Kenny Pickett has that chemistry with him when he's on the field. But this all depends on how many times they have that ability to have the three wide receivers out in that set. So, I mean, with Kenny Pickett being a rookie QB, I plan on this offense to be a little bit more balanced because I feel like they have not been able to run the ball very well, but they're going to try. They're going to try and run it with probably Kenny Pickett. They're going to run these quick, easy progression routes for Kenny Pickett, which can make this offense work a lot better than just chucking it deep past Claypool and throwing up interceptions like he did in his debut.
Right. Yeah, I don't think it really moves the needle a whole lot for between Mitch and Kenny Pickett this year. I don't think it really
makes a little more fantasy relevant, but not much.
I'd say a little bit as well.
It's the equivalent of upgrading from Sam Darnold to Baker Mayfield as of right now.
But it's not equivalent to from Joe Flacco chucking the ball 50 times
no.
a game going down to Zach Wilson. That's a bigger drop was kind of what I was getting at.
I'm not going to lie. I thought you were going to compare Joe Flacco to Lamar Jackson coming in.
No, not going to do that. Not going to do that today. But yeah, you got anything else to add or are you ready to split?
I the one thing I will say is I do think this might mean an uptick in Najee Harris's PPR value. I know the rookie quarterbacks aren't known for dropping it down to the running back, but if this is the way the scheme is designed, Najee Harris is a very well talented enough running back to take that workload and just be a safety valve.
Man, hopefully we get the Najee volume that we all thought he was going to get,
It's not going to be Big Ben, but.
No, yeah, I hear you. But yeah, guys, that wraps up this episode of the Fantasy Six Pack News Cycle. We like to keep this one short and sweet. Tomorrow there will be a waiver wire video coming out by Herms on the Fantasy Six Pack YouTube channel, so make sure you check that out. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate it. We got content flying all week long.
And let's be honest here, Dylan. That video that Herms is putting out, that just gives that's the tip of the iceberg there. If you really want to get the full waiver wire stashes, the guys to get before everybody else is trying to get them on the waiver wire, you got to subscribe to fantasy6pack.net/plans.
Yep.
He gives you the full waiver wire list of stashes that you can just gobble up on. If you have somebody that's on an IR spot and you got a freebie, go and pick up these guys. He knows what he's doing.
Yes, sir. And then join that. You get access to our Discord as well. Come talk with the whole Fantasy Six Pack staff. So for Mike, I'm Dylan Clemens. Thanks, everybody.